皆さんおはようございます。Thank you for joining me today. This is the Easy Japanese News article of the day for August 17th, 2026. 2026年8月17日の今日の記事でございます。For our headline today, we have GDP 国内総生産少し増えた。And here's our vocab from the headline. We have 国内総生産 Gross Domestic Product, GDP 少し a little bit 増える to increase. All right, jumping back into our headline, we have GDP, obviously GDP, 国内総生産. So this one's pretty self-explanatory if you look at the kanji, but that is GDP. So 国内, inside the country, 総 is total and 生産 is production. And we have 少し. Skoshi means a little bit. We normally put this in front of a verb to describe how that verb only happens a little bit. And then we have our verb 増える in the past tense. 増える to increase. So 増えた. So the GDP in Japan has increased slightly. And here's our vocab list from the article. We have 足す to add or to add something up. 金額 an amount. Now this is an amount of money. If you look at the kanji, 金額. We have 比べる to compare. 年間 over the course of a year, literally a period of a year. 年間. We have 続く to continue. 半分 half. 減る to decrease. 輸出 to export. 半導体which is a semiconductor, 機械 machine, 輸入 imports, and 買い物 shopping.
GDP は国の中で作ったものやサービスを足した金額です。国内総生産と言います。今年4月から6月までの GDP の増え方は1月から3月までと比べてプラス 0.3% でした。少し増えました。このまま1年間続くとプラス 1.1% になります。日本の GDP の半分ぐらいは買い物などで使ったお金です。4月から6月までに買い物などで使ったお金はマイナス 0.02% でした。少し減りました。輸出はプラス 0.5% でした。半導体を作る機械などの輸出が増えました。輸入はマイナス 1.5% でした。
All right, let's jump into our article.
GDP は国の中で作ったものやサービスを足した金額です。
Okay, so we have GDP は GDP, the GDP は this is kind of our main topic here. We end a sentence with des, so it's a simple sentence. This is this. And we have 国の中で so 国 country. We want to connect something like 中 which means inside. It's also a noun, so we use の国の中で. That tells us our place where something's going to happen. And our verb is 作る to create. So make inside of the country. 国の中で作る. And we'll put that in the past tense. 作った. And that is describing these things right here. So 物 is things. This is normally for physical objects. And we have 物 and サービス connected with や. So や we're listing two things but saying other things are also included. So objects or things and services and the like that are made in the country. 国の中で作ったものやサービスを So this を tells us that these two things are our object. So we're going to do something to them. And we are going to 足す which is to add them up. And that is in the past tense to be 足した adding up. And then 金額 is an amount of money, and です is our is. So GDP is the money amount of all of the objects, or in this case products, right? 物 products, services, and the like that are made in Japan.
国内総生産と言います。
And this と言います just tells us that is what it is called. So this と kind of puts quotation marks around the 国内総生産 and says this is a thing. And then you is our verb to say. So it is called 国内総生産. That's how they say it in Japanese. GDP, 国内総生産.
今年4月から6月までの GDP の増え方は、1月から3月までと比べて、プラス 0.3% でした。
Okay, then we have 今年4月から。So 今年 this year, 4月 April. 4月から from starting in April. And then we have 6月まで 6月 June まで until. So we have a からのまで from here until here. And when we want to attach nouns to this, we use no. So no GDP be the GDP from April until June of this year. And then this GDP, we're using another noun to connect onto it. So we use no again. 増え方. So this comes from our verb 増える to increase. And then when we add kata to the stem of a verb, that's like the way of or the method of doing that verb. So 増え方, how it is increasing, or basically whether it's increasing or decreasing or how much. And then that 増え方は is kind of our main topic or idea framework here. We have 1月から3月まで. It's again, same kind of thing, structure here. 1月から from January 3月まで until March. And then と比べて. This is what we can add to something to say when compared to. 比べる is to compare, but we can put that in the te form to say compared to this. So compared to from January to March of this year. プラス that is positive or plus, right? And then 0.3% is 0.3%. We say 10 for the point there. And でした is our was. So how the GDP increased from April to June of this year was positive 0.3% compared to from January to March of the same year.
少し増えました。
Okay, then we have, like we have in our headline, 少し a little bit, and 増えました is 増える to increase in the past tense mas form. 増えました. So it increased a little bit, not much.
このまま1年間続くと、プラス 1.1% になります。
Okay, このまま. So このまま. If このまま is like in this state or in this way. So in this case, we have in this way and then a verb. So something is doing something in this way. このまま1年間. So 1年間 is a period of 1 year. And then we have 続く, continue. And this と is if or when or upon a verb happening. So このまま1年間続くと be if this were to happen to continue for another year the way that it is going right now. プラス1点 or プラス 1.1% になります。So a positive 1.1% になります。Coming from に with なる. なる is to become something, and we normally use the particle に with it. So if this were to continue for another year, it would end up being plus or a positive 1.1%.
日本の GDP の半分ぐらいは買い物などで使ったお金です。
Okay, 日本の GDP. So once again, we're using no to show where something is coming from or describing nouns with other nouns. So 日本の GDP, the GDP of Japan, and then の半分. So half of the GDP of Japan. ぐらい, so around half は our main topic or framework. 買い物などで. So 買い物 is shopping, など is and the like. で is kind of like by means of, and then we have a verb. So we're going to do something by means of that. And 使った is 使う to use in the past tense. And then all of that is describing お金, which is money. So we take our wa here. Around half of the GDP of Japan is money that was used for shopping and the like. So that nado is that and the like. That de is saying used for or used by means of this.
4月から6月までに買い物などで使ったお金はマイナス 0.02% でした。
Okay, 4月から6月までに It's again from April to June. And then 買い物などで once again used. Actually, wait, this whole phrase is one we've already gone over. We'll just cut that down. Okay. So 買い物などで使ったお金. The money that was used for shopping and the like は main framework or topic minus. So this is negative. We just say minus in Japanese. 0.02%. So I think I said zero last time, but re is another way to say zero. So anytime you see a zero, you can very often use re instead. So the money that was used for shopping and the like from April to June was 0.02%, with that deshita being our was. So even though the amount they used for shopping and the like decreased, the overall increased.
少し減りました。
And then we have 少し減りました. So once again, 少し a little bit. And then 減る is to decrease. So 少し減りました in the past tense form. So it decreased a little bit.
輸出はプラス 0.5% でした。
And then we have 輸出 is exports は main idea or topic プラス a positive 0.5% でした。So was a positive 0.5%. So increased, right?
半導体を作る機械などの輸出が増えました。
So here we have 半導体を作る機械. So 半導体 semiconductors, our particle all here is telling us that that's going to be our object of a verb, and that verb is 作る to create. And all of that is modifying 機械 to say what kind of 機械, and 機械 is machines. So machines for making semiconductors, など and things like that. With this no, we're attaching it to the noun 輸出, which is exports. So exports of machines that make semiconductors and the like. が tells us that is a subject. It's going to do something. And that verb it's going to do is 増えました. So 増える to increase. So exports for machines that make semiconductors and the like increased. Then we have 輸入 is imports は as far as imports go. That's our main topic or framework. Minus, which is a negative 1.5% でした. So minus 1.5% でした is was. So with the Japanese economy, you know, GDP is only a part of that, but with the struggles they're going through right now, I mean, I guess it's good news. We'll see how things go and whether things continue to look better or worse for Japan, but hopefully it's looking better. 今日はありがとうございました. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate all the support, and I will plan on seeing you around. またね.